everybody, it's me, Aiden the Mizzy Gamer, and today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna boundary break slendytubbies 3. Now, you might think that there's a channel called She Says, and he's also doing the same thing, but I wanted to try on slendytubbies 3 because I was thinking it'd be a nice change. Yeah, so first we'll start off in the mainland. So here we are in the mainland, and as you can see, I'm using a free camera. And honestly, it's not half bad, except for needs more better frames to be processed. So first thing that some of you might have really wanted to check out is how far do the mountains go before they end? Now, let's see. And actually end pretty quickly when they go too back far. The void here is a skybox. And it seems like the void is a light blue. No reason to have that, but I'll take it. Okay, so here's the lake. So me personally, I would have thought, how far does the lake go before it ends? And we'll see. To be honest, I think you could see this by, oh wait, no, never mind. The texture for the bottom of the water is just a bunch of sand, but then the sand ends, but the water keeps going. Huh. Interesting. But how far does that go for? Well, we can see. Still going. And here's a low poly texture of the mountains. Or at least I'm pretty sure that's the map it's supposed to be on. Take a nice look at that. I think it's just a texture for the mountains. But we'll see how far this goes. And it seems like, oh, it's still going. It's still going. And then it finally ends. Right here. And the water even keeps going. What the heck? What's with the water texture going way far than what's supposed to? And it doesn't matter. Now, we'll move on to a new map. Now, some of you might have already noticed that I'm using the game's camera mode. But for people who don't have a computer, this is a nice little alternative for me to show you. So, a lot of slendytubbies 3 fans might already know that. But as you can see, the boat has a level of detail. And for some of you who don't know what level of detail even is, well, I'll tell you. Level of detail is how far things go out before they finally stop producing. It's water. But we can also check out how far the water goes before it ends. But there are some things that'll be always far out, so they're always going to be low detailed. This water layer goes on for a while too, just like in the last map I just did. This is always low poly, because it's always here. Fun little thing that maybe not a lot of people know about. But why would they even bother texturing this? Unless, if this game didn't have a camera mode, then why would there be a texture over there? But alas, the game has a camera mode, so there's a reason to. This map doesn't nearly have a much. Take a look at these cabins here. Whoa. That's not supposed to happen. Now this map has always been creepy to me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the creepy music playing in the background. But what isn't creepy is I can get you a nice little zoom out of the entire caves as it's viewed. Also, there's like a nighttime texture. There really doesn't need to be to, but there is for some reason. I think the caves in the story mode were a little weird. But yeah. Pretty sure this is one part of the end of the tunnel. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we can see how this sunlight effect works. Apparently it's just one little object sitting right here. That's it. I like that. I don't know, something about it looks pretty good. I think this is another area at the end of the tunnel that we can also take a nice look at. Hasn't it always been weird how there's two suns? Huh. And apparently this time, this one's just a very weirdly light object. That it's turning on a white cube. Huh. Never would have known that. You know, this map has always been a little less creepy to me. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the lack of... I mean, there's a lot of light in this map, and I think it would be easier to see stuff the later map. Here's the pool of custard. Apparently, wow. Why does this custard have 2 layers? There's no need for that. But there is one thing that I can give you, and that's a proper zoom out. Also, some of the tops of these buildings have actual tops. They didn't need to render these tops, but they did. And this apartment complex. What is that? We're not going to talk about what's there. But what I will talk about is a nice little zoom out of this map. Here's the top exhaust. Guess we can show you how that works. And here's the second area of the map in a zoom out. Alright, so there's a massive load of things that I would like to talk about. The military base. And there's a lot of dead trees here. Doesn't need to be a lot of dead trees here. But let's take a look at some buildings you can't normally go into. And apparently, there's nothing. But that's okay, because you would never know if I didn't tell you. This giant building has really nothing in it. But the most interesting part that I would like to tell you about is the level of detail that I talked about earlier. Well, here, it's even better. Here is one of the front gates that are around this building. And you can even... Okay, some of these trees are acting really funny. Keeping me out. But apparently, everywhere in this low level of detail area is all the same texture of trees on top of the skies. I wonder where Zero Works got this texture from. But let's see what's at the end of this path. It's getting very foggy. But I think we're very close to the end of this area. And it almost kind of ends at the triangle. Whoa. What kind of path is this? The yellow brick road? I don't know, but I think we're coming close to the end. And it all ends in a weird inverted triangle. Huh. You remember she says? This forest texture is really starting to creep me out, though. Ugh. What is that? Ugh. And the last map we're going to talk about, most likely almost the creepiest, the outskirts. And, yes, I will be doing this series. I will be continuing this series. But there is a few things that are really questionable I'd like to talk about. But that's not important. The first thing that's important is checking out what the satellite station looks like. Well, this is another map. Like I showed you earlier, with the mainland, it has the mountains. This one has a satellite station. And, yeah, I'm not going to be talking about the satellite station in this video, but in another video. get you a better look at these satellite dish. But, of course, all of you want to know what's inside the satellite station. And it does actually have an interior, but then it just ends. So you know that these doors do open in another part of the game that I won't tell you about. Also, weird looking battery here. But the main thing I do want to show you is the giant satellite dish. Like it's not seen anywhere else in the game. Cause you better look at that low poly texture. And yeah, the satellite dish done has a lightning bolt on it. What's that? Oh goodness, I didn't even know this was shining, but it is. I bet if somebody put their eyes into that, they would actually die. Their eyes would actually become blind. You know? But overall, this is just a very, very big, very flat, a little bit of mountainish desert. It's like an endless desert, but it's not an endless desert. And it's weird. And it's really hurting my brain. But that's going to do it for this show of my first ever boundary break of Slendytubbies 3. Now, you can do this by yourself, but anyone who doesn't have a PC or doesn't have the proper things to play this on, well, I got you covered. That's it. Alright. I'll see you in another episode. Goodbye.